What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Destiny. In the last episode, we completed a bunch of waves of Altar of Sorrow. Spoke with Eris once again after gathering all of the necklace scraps that we needed to continue. And in this episode, we are going to be taking a little bit of a break from questing, just a little one, not a big one, as I go after some things that we're going to need for weapon crafting, some artifacts, legendary moon artifacts. And I'm heading out to the Lunar Battlegrounds first just because this one is the most out of the way. Now, if I remember correctly, the artifact we need here is actually gotten all the way in the back. So some hive will spawn out here and whatnot. This is the area from the opening mission of the campaign, if you remember correctly. I'm going to head all the way through here because I want to go back into this area, and yes, okay, so see that diamond that just appeared as soon as we entered the area? You need to be within the vicinity of it, but once you are in the vicinity of it, you'll notice a weapon part. So go on up to it, pick it up, and there we go. There is the captive cord that is needed. There is, I think, one other thing I want to point out that's out here if I can remember where it's at. I know for a fact there is a Vex portal around here somewhere. And if you don't recognize this particular location, this is very heavily modeled after the First Light PvP map from Destiny 1. It's not exact. It's close, but it's not exact. It's very inspired by it, though, but with some changes. Just something that I figured was worth pointing out while we're out in this area. I know there's a Vex portal around here somewhere, but I can't remember exactly. I'm going to probably have to come back to it. I will have to come back to it at some point for certain reasons later on anyway, so I think maybe I'll just leave it be. But there is one in the area that would be... I mean, it would be cool if I could find it right now, but I'm going to probably have to just come back. So our other weapon parts that we need are actually in... If you can take a look here. We got the Chamber of Night, the... Hall of Wisdom, and then the other one is the Temple of Crota. So we're going to actually head over towards the Temple of Crota. So we're going to head to the Anchor of Light, go down on in there, and go after each of these pieces as we sort of make our way through the Hellmouth to get to everything. Because we have to do a lot of searching underground for this, and also we need to make it to the Circle of Bones because that's where Eris wants us to go next. And I'm going to be getting some auto rifle kills along the way just so I can continue to work on this essence. Because we'll be able to at least turn in 2 of them by the end of the episode today, which would be great. I'm not going to have the activities completion percentage high enough on a couple of the others, but that's okay. I want to say that diamond that appears as soon as I spawn in is for a different weapon part, one that I don't actually have a need for at the moment, but if I wanted to, I could probably go over and get it. Although, actually, I don't know about that. I think all of the weapon parts are only in areas that you aren't part of the patrol space. So welcome to the Temple of Crota. Let's head on down. We're going to be looking for that thing again. And if you want to see it more easily, zoom in with a scout rifle. It makes it much easier to spot something. Even easier than that is a sniper rifle. Sniper rifles are incredibly good for locating things on your HUD because when you zoom in, it actually zooms in the available or the range at which you can detect things, which is kind of nice. So it is further down below, so we need to continue to descend. It's probably in the next room down, so I'll just auto rifle my way through here as much as I can because I need those kills for this essence. So pardon me while I kill everything in my wake. There we go. And all the way down. This whole thing circles downwards to where we're supposed to go. The Hellmouth layout is more or less the same as what it's always been. It's just about remembering where everything is. And I know where the Chamber of Night is. It's the Hall of Wisdom that I don't remember off the top of my head, or if I'm confusing it with another place. But I do know my way around the Hellmouth at the very least, so I can at least get to it. Let's kill this guy. And there we go. All right, another weapon part right here. Get that. There is the Ethereal Charms. So that is for the sniper rifle one, which I am not going to be able to finish because I literally don't even have a sniper rifle at the moment. But it at least gives us a little bit of progress in that regard. Now let's continue downward. And again, I think that this might be the Hall of Wisdom we're about to head into, but again, I can't remember. Possibly. Let's see. Oh, this is the world's grave. Okay, that makes more sense. So let me kill all of you. There is a bunch of doors open on the side I can go through if I want to. Just keep killing all these acolytes as I go. Make sure I can stun him. That might be a little bit outside of this auto rifle's range. At least out of its effective range. Let's see. I don't think there's anything up here. There's just... Okay, it's just the world's grave room. I guess that makes sense. But this is the way that leads to the Chamber of Night. So I'm going to head back out this direction. And we're going to head on over that way. And then I'm going to have to loop back up and around towards where I think the Hall of Wisdom is. So there's all my auto rifle kills that I needed. Now I can just kind of zip through here. Oh, no, wait, I do need machine gun kills. I almost forgot. Let's get those as well. Those are going to be kind of useful. Not super hard to get as long as I know how to aim properly. Just one thing at a time here. There we go. So this is... I mean, this is technically the Chamber of Night, but I don't think actually we're in the spot for it yet. I think we need to go all the way through here first. So let's do that. And eventually it's going to be like, oh, here you go. Now you're in the right spot. Almost there. There we go. Chamber of Night. It's funny that the Chamber of Night location and then the place where the Chamber of Night mission take place are kind of separate from one another. I mean, they're close, but it's not exactly the same thing. So we're going to go through here, and then I'm going to have to backtrack to head up towards where I think the Hall of Wisdom is. Kill all of you. This is almost empty. Once this empties, it'll reload a lot faster because it's a rapid-fire weapon, and that is pretty much the case with all of them. There we go. All right, let's kill this wizard. Almost got it. Is there another enemy over here? Yep, there you are. Kill them. Let's use our scout rifle to see. Are we in the right area? Looks like we need to go further. I'm assuming it's at the very final room at the end. That would make the most sense because it is kind of the most important room in this area. It's where a lot of major quest events have taken place, and it's also where one of the nightmare hunts takes place. Spoiler alert, but it's true. Take all of them out. All right. Am I correct in my hunch here? I think I am. Although I still can't really tell until I get in here. Gosh, this place is big. Yep, it's all the way in the very, very, very back. Which makes sense. I don't know if you remember this room. We've done a couple of missions here. This was also where in the Taken King campaign, we were supposed to get the piece of Crota's essence. There is the Horned Wreath. So the only one that remains is the one that will clear out the hand cannon essence. So let's go get that one next. I actually may have had that backwards. I think the one we just picked up was for the sniper, and the ethereal charm was for the machine gun. But I guess it doesn't really matter. It's just a semantics thing at this point. But let's head back. And we need to make our way to the Hall of Wisdom, which is, I believe, accessed from the portion... or most easily accessed from the portion when you enter the Hellmouth, if I'm not mistaken. It might be the area that you access from Archer's Line, but I don't really know. That's the thing, is this whole place is kind of it's a little bit confusing, but it all connects. It all connects. If it is not the direction I'm thinking of, we're going to go the long way around. We might encounter the Circle of Bones first. But that is okay if that happens. Really wish I was amplified at the moment, but I'll be okay. It's all about knowing your way around. And this place is a giant maze for all intents and purposes, which is a good thing. I mean, it really spices up the moon a lot more than it already is. I think this is part of what makes the moon so freaking interesting, is all of these tunnels and all these places you can go. If we're talking like purely square footage, and just how much ground there is to cover. The moon still might be one of the biggest locations ever in like Destiny history, if I can be completely honest here. It's just so massive. All right, so up through here we go. We're going to want to walk up through this direction. This is going to take us up and up. And once we get to the top here... yes, okay, this is the Circle of Bones. That's what I thought. So, now that we're in here, we are supposed to look for something in particular for the quest. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I know where it is. But I'm going to head up here just to be absolutely sure. Kill all of these things. There's a few enemies over here. Got some bigger enemies. Ooh, that's a barrier knight, isn't it? I do believe it is. But where is he? Oh, he's all the way across the way. I don't think that's what we're supposed to kill. But I absolutely can. Not in the way that's intended, but I can. If I could stop losing my voice right now, that would also be awesome. All right, let me just reload this. Okay, there's the quest, Symphony of Death. We'll have to come back for that. But I think I am going to go try and kill this Barrier Knight before I head off towards where I'm pretty sure the Hall of Wisdom is. Because, yeah, I'm pretty sure it actually is the area you access from Archer's Line. So kill all these guys. I'm just doing this to make sure that I have enough machine gun kills. It looks like I do. So, yep, I'm just stuck on activity completions. Let me reload this. Yeah, I think, is the Barrier Knight on the other side? Or is he right here? I actually don't know. I actually don't know. So, Shadowkeep was the introduction of a mechanic to the game known as champions. Champions are these super powerful major enemies. They look like ultras because they have yellow health bars, but they are majors technically that are basically able to do a myriad of different things. So barrier enemies, if we do enough damage to him, and I can demonstrate this, if his health goes below a third, he will put up a barrier that you can only shoot through with barrier rounds. Once that, and I'm just going to outright kill him. And there, we've done it, so I got something out of that, so I will take that. But you have to shoot through it with barrier rounds, both to stop the health regeneration and also to whittle down to his shield. You need to be fast about this, especially in higher end difficulty activities, because champions are very hard to deal damage to. This is a very low end space. Not very hard to kill them here, but when you're in like a Grandmaster Nightfalls, you got to be vigilant, because usually you're going to have to knock out a barrier champion's shield like 2 or 3 times before you're able to actually kill them. Overload champions are going to move around really quick, teleport all over the place because they're either Minotaurs or Captains who have the teleport ability, and they're going to be firing erratically while constantly healing. You need to shoot sustained fire on them to actually damage them and eventually stop the overload effect. The last is unstoppable champions, who are, well, unstoppable. They're going to run at you directly and do massive amounts of damage. Their melee attack is made extra strong, and they need to be stopped with a single contained, powerful, unstoppable shot from something like a grenade launcher or a hand cannon. This one high, powerful firing bullet that's going to just stop them in their tracks for the time being and render them helpless so that you can hit them. All 3 of them need to be stunned before you're able to do large amounts of damage to them. But the trick is, though, barriers can stop, shield themselves, and heal themselves, and also damage you while being shielded. Overloads can just continuously heal themselves and out-heal your damage output, and Unstoppables can tank insane amounts of damage. They don't heal, but they will absolutely tank right through every single thing you throw at them. So that is the thing you have to worry about. And of course, all of the enemies respawn in here, which is just great. Absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to set up Symphony of Death if I can do all of that damage. Well, you know what? I think I'm actually going to be doing this in the next episode. I don't think we have enough time for it today, so I'm going to head off to Sanctuary, and I'm going to turn in all of these essences. And yeah, we'll take care of that quest next time. All right, so Lectern of Enchantment. We got a couple to do. Turn all of these in. Maybe we'll get some good rolls out of these. Not super likely, though. I'm not a huge fan of the rolls on a lot of these moon weapons, but it's always possible. So if we want to, we can actually use what Phantasmal Cores we have to get more of these, should we so desire. Personally, we haven't even unlocked my favorite ones yet, which, I mean, the sniper we can get, but like I said, I need sniper kills. And then the machine gun and the submachine gun are actually my two favorites. So let's do all that. I'm actually going to get rid of, well, I might as well put it into this Taipan, actually, really quickly. So there we go. And then what do we got? We got the Arc Logic. Subsistence is a good perk. Sympathetic Arsenal, not so much. Sympathetic Arsenal, reloading after a final blow. Also reload stowed weapons. I'm not a huge fan of that perk. It's kind of nonsensical to have it. So I'm just going to get rid of that. And then the hand cannon. Explosive payload is really good on this archetype. Slide shot, not so much. Not a huge fan of it. I would be a little bit more of a fan in the Crucible of this particular role, although it's still not 100% ideal. The reason explosive payload is so nice on hand cannons is because damage fall off from range only applies to the actual bullet itself, but not the explosive damage. And because explosive payload basically splits that damage in half, it means that only a quarter of your shot damage is going to be cut off, basically, and you're still able to deal full damage at much longer ranges with this hand cannon. This also works because these hand cannons have consistently the highest range and also the highest damage, but are therefore the slowest firing. Not a huge fan of that particular roll. Not a huge fan of this hand cannon in general, if I'm going to be honest. I don't like its potential rolls very much, especially not after the perk update it got post Shadowkeep, but that is just a good example of the kind of stuff you can get out of Loud Lullaby. Guys, that's going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Destiny. Thank you all so much for watching. Next episode, we're going to start down there back in the Circle of Bones. We're going to get that quest going, and we'll see where it leads. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this episode very, very much, and I will see you all in the next one.